Angels, 3, 2, 1. Hello everyone, my name is Michael Reza. This is the night school, and in the night school we do a bunch of different things. And so before we start class, let me go over the class schedule for the day. Today, first off, we're going to start by simply just talking about life a little bit, and then we're going to get into learning a little bit of magic. Magic, what kind of magic? Magic with your intention. You see, many people think intention is simply just being intentional about life, but you know, that's boring. That's boring. We don't want to be slow. We don't want to be intentional. We don't want to do all this stuff. We want to learn magic. We want to learn how to use our minds to create miracles and magic in our life. Right? 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 So yes, we're going to be talking about that throughout this episode. We'll also be doing a guided meditation, but this meditation will be an activation. I don't remember if I said, but I am a psychic channel, meaning at any point in this meditation, I will be channeling through higher frequency energies, higher frequency beings, and sometimes it is against my will because the angelic realms are very pushy sometimes. So first off, we're going to start with a little talk. $1 million in 22 days. If you follow me on Instagram, the Florida Sage, you'll see that I am making $1 million in 22 days. Today is day 20. Oh my God, day 20 out of 22. How much money has I made? $0. No, I've made about $150 or a little bit more. But the thing is, you know, the angels have a tricky way of working. The angels wish to showcase miracles, showcase the power of conviction through me. And while this has been an extremely enduring task, my nervous system has been tested significantly in posting that I'm making $1 million in 22 days on social media. Though my nervous system is freaking out, my mind is freaking out a little bit. I know that I can trust my intuition. And also, I gotta note that people didn't realize that I was the one playing the drums. They thought that it was like sound effects, but this skill does not come from sound effects. So $1 million in 22 days. How am I gonna make $1 million in 22 days? Well, you see, a year ago, I brought through a genie in a book. You see, I channeled a genie into a book. And I never say that Michael wrote the genie, the Black Book Genie. Sorry, I'm getting all over the place right now. I got high energy. When the angels are coming through me, it literally feels like I'm on fucking cloud 9. I'm sorry. We're going to slow it down a little bit. They can't give me toys and this much energy and not expect me to play. All right, so let's get back to it. So $1 million in 22 days. How am I making $1 million in 22 days? Well, you see, a year ago, I wrote a book called The Black Book Genie. And I don't really like to say I wrote it. It just simply came through me as a channeled book, which is literally a genie in a book, like a genie in a bottle, a genie in a lamp that you rub. But in this case, it is a genie in a book. And as I was thinking of how to market it and everything, I realized, man, Michael, you know, I have a lot of opportunities to make a lot of money really fast because I've been digital marketer for 7 years. I have all kinds of products available. I have all kinds of services available. And also I have a very firm understanding of metaphysics. So I was like, you know what, the best thing I could possibly do, and again, this was a year ago, is to wish for $1 million in 22 days. Now, where does the 22 days come from? Well, in the Black Book Genie, there is a 22-day program, a 22-day meditation program designed to align you with your wish being fulfilled. You see a little story about the genies. The genies stopped sending down lamps and trinkets and stuff until humanity is ready to actually have their wishes granted, because often humans are wishing for things that are misaligned from what they truly want. A human wishes for a car when really they need some confidence. They wish for a bunch of money when really they need to learn how to express themselves, right? Yes. So the genies brought down a book, a genie in a book that grants you the fulfillment of one wish. And how does this genie grant a human a wish? Well, the human goes through the book. They write down their wish as the genie prompts you to. And once you write your wish, you then sign a terms of service sent down by the genies. And once you sign that terms of service, your wish is granted. And I mean really granted, for sure. The only caveat is, in order for your wish to be fully manifested in the physical reality, you must complete the entire book. And it's a very short book, but it's filled with different prompts that you go through over the course of a week, a month, 2 months, however long it takes you to really clear out your consciousness of all the weeds and stuff that are preventing you from living the life of your dreams. So the genies brought down this book, the Black Book Genie, and the Black Book Genie is a genie in a book that grants you the fulfillment of one wish. And in order to market this book, they said, Michael, ask for $1 million in 22 days and record the journey. Show people the magic, the miracles that can come through asking a real genie for a wish. And so I did. On January 12th of 2025, I asked the genie and recorded it for $1 million in 22 days. And the entire process was extremely stressful as fuck. So stressful. I'm like asking the genie, I'm doing all this shadow work, I'm doing all the things, the prompts and all these things, and nothing's coming through besides just like new little experiences here and there, new glimpses of the future here and there, but ultimately it was just kind of conviction. I knew I was making $1 million in 22 days. I knew it deep down in my heart. And as the 22 days approached, I realized that the $1 million was not coming in 22 days. And that was a little bit of a blow to the face for show. And so I kind of just sat back on that for a little bit and I contemplated, and I spent the year alone by myself, all of 2025 by myself, contemplating, creating things on behalf of the angels. You see, again, I am a psychic channel, and so my occupation on a day-to-day is simply bringing through the angelic realm onto this third dimensional plane, and that can be a lot sometimes, especially when I'm by myself. But for all of 2025, I was by myself working on a bunch of projects, writing books, writing different systems, building a bunch of stuff, but never releasing it. And physical human Michael felt pretty bad about himself. He's like, why am I releasing all these things? Or why am I making all these things and not releasing them to the world? It felt very difficult. And then all of a sudden, I went to Guatemala recently. And as I was there, I cleared myself of any sort of intoxicants in my body and allowed myself to really sauna and rest and recover and make sure that my gut and my intuition were operating at maximum capacity. And as I was coming to the end of being in Guatemala, it was like the last day, I got a little message from the genies. They said, hey, Michael, remember that time you asked for $1 million in 22 days? And I was like, yes. They said, well, you're about to do it again, and it's going to be fucking crazy. And I was like, really? Really? Again? I'm going to go through that again, publicly announcing I'm making $1 million in 22 days and documenting it? Really? I'm going to have to go through it again? And they said, yes, Michael, you are. But this time, it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to end a little bit different. And I said, okay, I trust. I trust my intuition so fully because I'm continuously in contact with the angels, with different beings, with different extraterrestrials, all kinds of things. They're always coming through me. So this must be... Wrong thing. There we go. This must be a clear download from the cosmos. And so if you're following my journey at the Florida Sage on Instagram or TikTok, you'll see I'm currently in the middle of making $1 million in 22 days. It's day 20. And if you're watching this, then you can actually support this $1 million in 22 days journey by going down in the description and clicking on the Stand Store link. If you go there, you'll see many, many, many things, all of which have been brought down through the angelic realm to help humanity ascend into this new golden age of Earth. Let's fucking go. Finally, we're moving on from all the bullshit, all the systems that we've lived through our whole life of just fucking greed and this material way of living, when the truth is we are spiritual beings experiencing this magical physical reality. But when we're disconnected from our spiritual nature, we simply believe that there is only form. We simply believe that we must work for our existence, that we must work for a paycheck so that we can be who we are. But the truth of the matter is we can always be who we are. And by unlocking that and becoming exactly who you are, you then unlock infinite abundance. And so this journey of me making $1 million in 22 days has been primarily a journey of shedding all the layers that are preventing Michael from being all that Michael is. So tune into that series on my Instagram. You will see everything. If you start from day 1 and you go all the way up to now day 20, and then you finish the series, where depending on whenever you're watching this, you will see the transformation that has occurred. You will see the magic of the genie. The surface level view from each individual video doesn't really give you much, but when you start from the beginning, you will see clearly what has happened to physical Michael in this 3-dimensional reality. Now we're going to take a little intermission and... Okay, that was good. That was a great intermission. Thank you, angels. Thank you for giving me a break. Thank you for giving Michael some breathing room. What else do we got to say about the $1 million in 22 days journey? Besides, if you're open and willing to support not only this mission, but yourself, definitely check out the link in bio, because the channeled writings are very, very powerful. Simply reading these booklets, especially Meditation for Ascension, you will experience a new reality, because you are absorbing not only frequencies of the angelic realm, you are absorbing high frequency wisdom that once absorbed, you can never let go of. You see, when you're reading books that are channeled, only maybe 5% of it is what you're actually reading, and the rest is simply you being distracted by reading while ancient higher frequency beings are downloading information into your crown chakra. And so you'll be prompted in Meditation for Ascension to visualize your crown chakra opening up so that you can be primed for all the downloads that you are going to receive. Meditation for Ascension, check it out in the description. So now we're going to have some fun. First off, we're going to play a little music. We're going to do a little singing. We're going to do a little whatever we're going to do. I actually have no idea. You see, I'm a channel, so after I record all this, I'm not going to remember any of it, because I'm simply just bringing through whatever the fuck the angels want to bring through me. Michael cannot think. His intellectual mind, his reasoning, rational, logical mind has been completely put aside so that he could bring through these messages. There is really no Michael here. There is simply the physical body of Michael and the many different flavors of Michael's personality. But the truth is, throughout his entire existence, he is simply just channeling angelic frequencies. And so again, as we commence on this journey, know that in many ways you will see kind of a mixture between the physical Michael, human Michael, and also the angelic realm. So let's play some music. How'd you guys like that? That was pretty good. And also just acknowledge that every single frequency that comes out of this audio, wherever you're watching this, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, things, whatever, you are being healed simply by these frequencies, because, again, what is coming through Michael is not the frequency of physical Michael. It is the frequency of the 8th dimension and beyond. Yes, the 8th dimension and beyond. And so right now we're actually going to do some channeling. We're going to bring through a little friend of mine, Quan Yin. And Quan Yin comes through me in a very weird way, because I had expected Quan Yin to be Chinese, I'm not going to lie. But Quan Yin comes through me in a very interesting voice, and we're just going to surrender to the flow and allow him to come through. She, he, whatever, the angelic realm, anything above the human realm. There's really no such thing as these gender things. There's gender, but there's not really this sexuality that we have here on Earth, this weird little, animalistic stuff. It's fun, but, a little animalistic. So we're going to bring through Quan Yin and just allow. Hello there. Yes, welcome to the night school. You see, Michael has been preparing for this for quite some time, and now we are here to actually bring through the messages of this new age of humanity. So sit back and relax as we bring through these messages. Know that everything that is coming through the mouths of Michael is coming through higher frequencies of energy being condensed down through the vessel Michael. And so in many ways, you will feel that this message is healing you simply by listening. Yes, simply by listening. That's all you need to do. Even if this is on mute, know that you are bringing through the energies of higher consciousness. And even if you understand the things that we are saying or not, it doesn't really matter whatsoever, because you are simply absorbing the frequencies of higher consciousness. Your higher self has led you to this particular video so that you could listen, so that you can feel, so that you can resonate on levels that you are not even aware of. Dimensions that you have not yet experienced yet are being activated simply by listening to this message. And you heard right. Yes, I am Quan Yin, and I am a guide of Michael. I work through Michael in many different ways to ensure that the teachings that are coming through are pure, to ensure that the human Michael isn't getting in the way too often. Now, today we're going to be talking about your intention. And as Michael mentioned earlier, your intention is your magical capacity. It is not simply being still, focusing on your breath, doing all these things to be present. No, your true nature is presence, and you accomplish presence through intention. Now, the reason why we say intention is magic is because your intention is your ability to channel your will through your thoughts to create some sort of physical experience. Now, take this example. We have a bird in the sky, flying through the sky, and you can either set your intention on this bird to simply be a bird, or you can set your intention on this bird to be a symbol of eternal freedom flying through the air. It is simply a symbol of the freedom that is granted to the soul that decides they are going to simply be themselves. Look how much meaning we just added to that bird. So beautiful. So beautiful. So your intention is your ability to label things as you wish. In this physical reality, many of you have learned all these different definitions, all these different terms that describe the things in your reality, and you've built a box around yourself with those definitions. You look at a chair and you say, this is only a chair. What else is this? It's just a chair. You sit in it. But the truth is, it is not just a chair. It is a energy vortex. It is a standing wave of energy standing there, just being a chair. And at any moment, you can manipulate the energy of that chair simply by setting an intention that it is something else. Take this example. Michael is looking at a chair right now in front of him, and this chair can simply be a chair, or it could be a magical chair. A chair that every time he sits in activates new levels of abundance, allowing him to create new and exciting things without having to think, but simply just absorbing the frequencies of this magical chair. Now, many of you listening to this, we know that you're like, okay, but it's not that simple. And we say to you, yes, it is. It is that simple. All you must do is set your intention. Allow things to be the labels that you want them to be. And in doing so, you will experience a life beyond your wildest dreams, because you are creating a life from your dreams. You decide that every time you see a pigeon, you are activated. Your DNA is doing something simply by this pigeon's presence. That is powerful right there. There are a bunch of pigeons everywhere. We've seen them all over the place, pooping, eating fries, all kinds of things. Oh my God. And so how do we harness our intention in this beautiful, magical life that we are in? How do we harness this intention? Well, we simply start labeling things as we want them to be. And an important place to start is labeling things with love. You see, there's nothing to fear in your reality unless you create things to fear. And so all the different things that you have in your life that you fear are simply because you've defined them as something that is needed to be feared. However, this does not need to be the case. You can label the scary tiger as a bundle of love, and that is exactly what it would be. It was loving on you as it's eating you in the Sahara Desert. And look at that. You made magic out of being mauled by a lion. Look how powerful this transmission is. Wow. So we want you to start labeling things. Try this practice, whether you're driving, whether you're walking. As you're walking down the street, driving down the street, look at things all around you and say, oh, I thought that was a street lamp, but it's actually love. Oh, I thought that was a tree, but it's actually love. Oh, I thought that was a sign, but it's actually love. Oh, I thought that was a human, but it's actually love. Oh, look at this bird. I thought it was a bird, but it's actually love. You see, as you continuously do this process, you are then setting an intention for all things to be labeled as love. You are defining your reality as love. And the more and more you do this, your reality then morphs to reflect that inner knowingness that all things are now defined as love. Imagine how powerful your life will become when you realize that everything around you is simply love. This is what your intention is. Your intention is far more than slowing down and focusing on your breath and doing the dishes real slow. No. It is far more than that. It is your magical capabilities. It is your true ability to manifest, simply labeling things as you wish them to be. You see, reality is based on the ideas that you hold in your mind. Whatever ideas you have about reality are true. And so we are encouraging you here in this transmission to start labeling things as you wish them to be. And we're giving you a little cheat code here by saying, label all things as love. Label all things as portals to your abundance. Every time Michael hits this drum, you are activated to higher levels of abundance. And so we're going to gift you with this right now, this healing frequency of abundance. We want you to close your eyes real quick. We want you to close your eyes real quick. We want you to close your eyes real quick. Take a deep breath in and absorb the frequencies of this abundance drum. Absorb the frequencies of this abundance drum. Every single sound this drum makes is activating different levels of abundance in your life. Now, as you're hearing this drum, visualize yourself in front of a pile of golden coins. Go up to this golden pile of coins and start throwing coins all over the place like they're nothing, because they aren't anything. They are simply energy manifesting as these golden coins, with you humans now decided is a symbol of abundance, but in reality it is simply energy. And all this energy, this entire pile of coins that you are visualizing within your mind, is simply within your mind. Don't you see? Now, simply by listening to that snare, doing that little visualization, you just labeled yourself as abundant and have been activated. And so we thank you for your participation in this. So how do we use our intention properly? Remember, you label things as you wish them to be. You label your water as the Christ light, and every sip of water is healing your body with the energy of the Christ. Every time you go for a walk, each step is activating you into higher levels of awareness. And every time you breathe in the energy of eternal light and return to yourself. Now we're going to return back to Michael, speaking of returning to self, so that he can have some fun on here as well. Because, again, we are the angelic realm, and we wish only for your betterment, and also we want to make sure Michael has the energy to continue doing this. And the longer he does this, the more tired he gets, the more drained he gets, and we need to give him some time to actually come back to himself. So enjoy. Okay, guys. That was something. That was something. I can't wait to listen to what was said. That was fun. So yes, I'm a psychic channel, and it comes through me in many different ways. And it is very draining. I will not lie. It is extremely draining. It has taken a long time to get to the point where I can actually do this on a microphone and actually just confidently bring it through. But now I'm at a point where there's really no going back. The angels are like, all right, Michael, sit. All you got to do is sit in front of this fucking mic and do it. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Let's do it. But but I'm still a human. I'm still walking on the streets. I have a dog, and this dog, his name is Hermes. Oh yeah, look at that. See, that's Michael's true expression. I'm literally thinking of my dogs 24/7. I'm not gonna lie. It's either I'm being communicated to by angels and extraterrestrials, or I'm thinking about my dog. So, my circle's pretty tight. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, $1 million in 22 days. If you'd like to support, and even if this is after the $1 million in 22 days, if you'd like to support this channel, check the link in bio and check out the channeled writings that are available from the new curriculum where nothing we share is new. Yes, where nothing we share is new. That is the organization. I almost slipped and said it's my organization, but it's not Michael's, it's God's. So yeah, so check it out. The new curriculum where nothing we share is new is a school of realization and intention. And the next couple of weeks, I'll be building out the Return to Self program, which is also available in the links below in the Stand store. If you scroll all the way down, the Return to Self program is a 90-day program to return back to your higher self. This includes weekly shadow work prompts that we do together, a community that's going to grow as it launches, and a lot of channeling through higher consciousness beings to actually assist in this awakening. This Return to Self program is not just a bunch of shadow work and self-development. It's literally bringing through frequencies of higher consciousness to activate whoever is within the community. So I highly encourage you to join the community because I'm excited, because I know that I'm going to be activated simply by being in it. Because the biggest thing to know about me, Michael, is that I'm also on this fucking journey, and everything is a mystery. Everything is simply unfolding, and our activation is happening as a collective. So no matter how far I go, you go as well. And that's the whole point of this channel. And that's why the angels are using me, Michael, physical Michael, to do this, is because I know so clearly that it is a collective mission. I don't go as far as the collective. The collective rises as I rise. I rise as the collective rises. So it goes both ways. So definitely check out the Return to Self program. Check out all the offerings below. And yeah. What else is there, angels? Hold on. Let me go deep within and see. Okay, they said nothing. Thank you for tuning in to the night school. Check out the link in bio if you'd like to support.